So in this world of camera phones nowadays of the year 2022, we see that a lot of Android phones have been leaping past the iPhones. And the iPhone 13 Pro Max, which had a very good stabilization camera and all of that, including the cinematic mode which they are pronouncing and promoting over the Apple Tech launch events. But we see that this year Androids have somewhat overtaken those iPhones in the way the camera performs sequentially, including the likes of the Samsungs, the Vivos, the Realmes, and a lot of premium flagship Androids nowadays. Well, in this video right now, I'll be talking about the Vivo X80 Pro Plus. This isn't a camera phone, but this phone is going to destroy any camera phone I've seen so far in the past. Even the last of its junior brother, the Vivo X70 Pro Plus, which was awesome with the V1 chip and other things. But we see that the new V1 Plus chip is coming in this X80 Pro Plus. So we'll begin first with display, as I don't have the exact reviewing box unit and all of that, as this phone is totally unreleased. But on the details and the hints which I've gotten so far, I'm going to start with the display on reviewing the device. So now in the phone we talk about the display. This display is a 6.8-inch beast of a display, and it's like the one of the highest ever display sizes we see on any phone right now. But according to this flagship, this is what they stick to as it gives the best viewing angles. I said this is a 6.8-inch AMOLED display, which is very clear, crisp colors and all of that, with LTPO 3.0 tech, which allows the phone to scale down from 120Hz to 1Hz automatically and save more power depending on what you use the device to do at that time. Well, I say now that this phone 6.8-inch is very clear, punch colors, vivid display and all the likes of that. But there is a more mind-blowing thing I can say. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself right now, and I think I'm going too forward, but I have to say the details all the same, simple and true. The phone comes with the latest Qualcomm Snapdragon makers, Qualcomm 3D Sonic Max. I'm talking about an optical sensor there on that display. They call it, is rumored to be the widest optical sensor on any phone right now, as the thing can not only figure out your fingerprint, the thing can also allow you to unlock 2 different apps or 3. That is the maximum there, depending on what you do. Like you press the fingerprint on your thumb and it will open the device, or you have the choice of pressing an app which is there by default on the phone. What I mean is that you can unlock 3 apps at the same time rather than unlocking to your phone directly. You just unlock the app and you could set all of those things in the settings. But like I said, this display is a 6.8 QHD display, which means that you can ever save more battery, and it's a HDR10 plus an adaptive planning. So on that direction, like, this shouldn't even be a problem at all. Well, that's more on the display. Let's continue more in this video right now. So if you already love this video right now, sub to the channel Extreme. And we move on to the chipset side. The Vivo X80 Pro Plus is powered by the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 chip, which is the latest flagship chip coming from Qualcomm in this year 2022. Although we're quite surprised as the phone is not shipping the brand new upcoming Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 chip, as this is a phone which is coming out in some months time, who knows when. But I'm quite sure that this is for a good reason. You know, Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 chip has not been shipped out or given to any consumers or manufacturers making up their phones, as it's still in testing phase by Qualcomm there. But I think that the idea of giving the 8 Gen 1 the Vivo X80 Pro Plus is a good idea, because they will have more time working with the chip to aid the V1 chip in bringing out the best of the phone, which is the camera, processing and processing and all of that. So without a doubt, the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 is going to make sure that the PhoneTouch S12, which is based on Android 12, performs sporadically and to its most efficient ways, as it saves more power and delivers excellent food. Well, it's not a surprise for us, as Vivo gave their phones, this X60 Pro Plus, X70 Pro Plus, which have been excellent camera phones. They made it to go sequentially, step by step, and that what made the processing and everything to be in order. So I doubt that maybe they can't be able to make a Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 chip to power their phone, but I'm very sure that they are going to bring in the Vivo One chip to pair it with the Gen 1, which is going to mean the best images we have ever seen so far on any smartphone. So on the chipset side, we see that not really anything surprising concerning the Gen 1, but what we're saying is that this phone is going to give out everything that we have totally asked for on the device in this year 2022. I'll move to the third part of this story. The Vivo X80 Pro Plus comes today, basically 4700 mAh battery. Wait, basically? But I can see that 4700 mAh battery is not good enough for some power, like the likes of the S22 Ultra and the Realme, which come with basically 5000 mAh, as long as phones that come with 6000 mAh battery, 4750, 4800 and large battery. Vivo was extremely kind enough to give us as much as Xiaomi gives us something like 4005, 4006. That's not been a problem for anybody, for me exactly. And I'm saying that the battery capacity is well enough with that 80-watt fast charger. Wait, but the 80-watt fast charger is a bit tricky in this way. As it quick charges, well, let me not spoil this right now. We'll get back to that in a bit. Like I'm saying about the battery is a 4700 mAh battery. It's a pretty good battery, a 2-day battery for most people, with around 12 hours of screen on time, and it should reach the average user normally without any problems. But what I'm saying is that for some people it's going to be a problem, because especially those heavy users that like to use their phones without fail, without stopping, they will need to constantly recharge the phone over and over, and they may feel frustrated. But with that 80-watt fast charging, it shouldn't be a problem at all. I'm saying there are three categories of people: heavy users, which use phones like constantly and don't seem to stop. They also moderate users, which use their phones normal, and then they, at least it reaches them. That should get you around the day of usage for middle users. And those ones that know how to save battery well should get 2 days out of it, or even 3 days a day. Try to do that in between charges, as that 80-watt fast charger should show you a charge never seen before. But like I'm saying, this is where things get bad here. The 80-watt fast charging pretty tricky on the side, as I'm saying that the charging isn't that specified as it's 80 watts. It doesn't give that aesthetic of an 80-watt fast charger. I've seen other phones like Oppo and the other types that have 66-watt chargers, 65-watt charging, 7-watt fast charging that charge faster. And as for a cell like 4700 mAh battery, this thing should get to full in around 30 something minutes, but surprisingly it's getting full from 0 to 100 like 48 minutes, which is quite confusing, as the 80-watt fast charging should be a bigger top up than that of those 65-watt fast chargers, which have bigger cells of 5000 mAh and the likes. So that thing is where my fingers are crossed, as I'm quite confused. Why should the battery not be lasting like that, or why should it not be charging that quickly? Well, Vivo have their reasons, and I can see that they tried and maybe they're kind of producing, but we can't complain. This is a fun world, we can't complain at all. So we'll move to the first side of the story now. So we get to the elephant room, and that is the cameras. This looks like the Vivo series, the X series, has just been targeted at cameras. I think that's the selling point of this device. Like, seriously, these cameras are over the roof. They have not been compared with any other cameras I've seen so far, including this year's S22 Ultra, which the camera was incredible. But looks like Vivo want to go beyond that height. I've never seen such a good camera setup in my life. Like, camera setup is basic, just a 50 megapixel main camera, 48 megapixel ultra wide camera, a 12 megapixel telephoto camera, and a 8 megapixel periscope camera. All these cameras are pretty basic, except for the fact that the pictures taken from this camera are just more than optics. Looks like computation is being involved. I think Vivo have been copying, iPhone. So, like I said, computation is put in this thing. So the camera setup isn't that mad like the 108 megapixel setup we see in most phones nowadays, as the sensors are incredibly larger, they let in 200% more light, they have more detail and all of that background blur you see. But look at the computation involved now with the new V1 chip that they have implemented. Don't mind me, the V1 Plus chip that they have implemented in this phone. But we'll be back in that in a bit. I'm saying the camera quality of the phone is over the roof. All the 4 cameras, well, I'm confirmed on the main 2 cameras, the main camera and the ultra wide camera. both of them can shoot in 8K at 30 frames per second, but according to sources, for best result it's best to shoot 4K at 30-60 fps, which will bring you the best detailed video or picture you have ever seen in your lives. So like I'm saying, all these cameras are the periscope camera is incredible, the macro camera so much detail and background blur you will not even understand. If you zoom in, the periscope camera comes with 60x optical zoom, so looks like that zoom you will not even bother to move with your legs to get that far. That amount of detail you need, as all the colors are still sharp. So I'm saying the thing makes the phones like S22 Ultra look like as it was a phone in 2018. Like, you know, the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1, which I'm surprised how they could not upgrade to 8 Plus Gen 1, as this is a phone that's going to be released later this year. They just stick to the old 2022 earlier 8 Gen 1, which I think is not as good as 8 Plus Gen 1 according to what they have been talking about the chipset. But they have brought in their new designed V1 Plus chip, which will mean better power efficiency, better processing and all of that. So I'm saying it means better images, better quality photos, better things. But you know, the phones can shoot at 8K, so S22 can shoot at 8K and some other phones too, which are spaffed out in this year so far. But it's like it's computation that is going to be needed so far in this thing. So I see that the phones, the camera quality is what makes this phone stand out from other phones. So it looks like they just made this phone for camera purposes. Here are some samples I got from the source. If you compare this to the S22 Ultra, it makes it look like S22 Ultra phones got a little bit darker in shade or not enough quality contrast. The S22 Ultra camera is fine. I'm saying the ultra wide camera is very good, but when compared to other phones, you see that the phone is just a step higher than those other phones. So I'm saying that this Vivo X80 Pro Plus have just been made for camera purpose only, to overtake iPhone, and who is still bent on a cinematic 2.0 project, better and more efficient and still save more battery. So I'm saying the cameras have some samples here: the main shot, the ultra wide shots, the macro shots and the bokeh shot. All of those shots, they are very incredible and all over the roof here. But we're seeing that as long as Vivo are pushing this AI series, we see that a lot of camera jumps will be expected so far. So when we close out thing with the camera picture, you see that the cameras, there's nothing else to say about it. So this phone is dedicated for camera view only. So Vivo, I think they're just blowing our mind. But I think if there's ever an X90 Plus series coming on, I'll be waiting for that as well. If you found this video helpful in any way, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to get more quality videos from Hilary. I'm Hilary and this is Hilary Haichi. Thanks for watching.